Good morning. Good. Oh, look. I forgot. I forgot to put my thing up here. I had a tidy round and I put my thing down and I've not put my thing back up. Do you know what? What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to start faffing about because it would take me longer to put it up than it would to mess around. Can you imagine? Look, Diane Ivory's first past the post this morning, you guys. Good morning, morning, morning. Morning, everybody. I am coming to you on day 4 and a bit of book writing. Although I didn't yesterday, I took the day off because I was flagging so hard. I spent like the majority of the day in bed. I was not very well. And then I went to sleep. Last night about 7:30. I went back to bed and then I woke up at 12:30 and then stayed awake until 5 o'clock this morning. What an idiot. So completely, by spending time asleep yesterday, I knocked my circadian rhythm off on its kilter. So yeah, at least my bed is made. Wallace did make my bed. He was snoring. So I got up in the night and then I put my headphones on and I did another couple of thousand words on the book. So I don't know whether to just become nocturnal whilst we do this. Whilst I get this book finished. We are now halfway there. We're doing okay. I am surviving. Good morning, everybody, though. If you are watching, so we stream across 4 places. We stream across the Queen Bee Dani business page. So good morning to everybody who is watching from there too. We are streaming on my personal profile, Dani Wallace. If you are, I can't see any of your comments, not even if it's a Facebook user. I can't see any of your comments. So if you do want to comment along this morning, please do come over to the Queen Bee Dani page on Facebook and come and get amongst the conversation. You will want to this morning. One of my guests, my guest this morning is one of my favorite people in the world, and also the conversation that we have and that we've got for you this morning is really super interesting. We're going to fly in the face of what we think about becoming a parent this morning. If you are watching in the Hive and you have not given StreamYard permission for us to see your face, for example, this glorious person here, I can't see who you are. You've got to give Facebook permission for us to see your name. So just as a kind of housekeeping at the start, my name is Dani Wallace. I am the Queen Bee. I am your host. I know it's a bold statement. Let me know in the comments if you are new to the show, and let me know if you are one of our regulars. I know who you are. To our fabulous regulars, we have been going for about 20 odd weeks now. I've given up counting. We had our 100th show a week before last. And we're just sticking with it. I was just saying to Naomi, I was meant to have this week off and I was going to get some guest hosts in. I think Naomi, when I am off, is going to be our guest host. She's just found that out backstage, but yeah, she's cool with that. I've been working with Naomi for a while. She's actually one of my clients, and she works with me in a speaking capacity. We'll be talking about that this morning, but she is such an incredible performer, such an incredible performer. I am excited to pass her the helm on the days when I am going to actually give myself a lie in another weekday. I don't know when that will be, probably soon, because I can feel myself hurtling towards, like, not quite burnout, but that I'm heading in that direction. So I want to give myself a little bit of love and a bit of space once I have got this book submitted. I promise. I know some of you have been worried. Don't worry, I'm all right. I've got lots of support around me and it's going to be fabulous. Kate Blake, Parallel World. I was poorly too and needed to write. I had insomnia. Yeah, I'm just going to lean into all of it. I'm just going to, if I'm feeling tired, I'm going to sleep. If I'm feeling awake, then I'm going to write. And I'm just going to do that instead of sitting here. Because I was sat here day before yesterday, like blank brained, looking, like thinking I was just going to pull something out of my arse, and I didn't. Good morning, Gillian. How are you feeling, my sweetheart? Good morning, Claire Clark. Good morning, everybody. Tell me what the weather's doing in the world. It is scorchio this morning. Praise the Lordy Lord in Preston. It was a bit shit. It's been a bit shit for the past few days, but it's quite nice that the sun has got his hat on today. I'm frozen. Can't get you to play. Oh, I'm definitely here. I'm not frozen, am I, you guys? Am I here? Can you see me? Give me some likes and some loves and some shares. Good morning, Mr. Witt. How are you? Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this, our fabulous Thursday. It is sunny in Durham this morning. Let's get the northeast just up here, a bit further up. There we go, just up here, represented. Let me know what the weather's doing where you are. Lisa Dennis, yes, I can see your profile now. Have you given us some permissions? We can see you. 5:44 start. Grandkids are here. Blank brain here. Anything goes. Sunny and windy in Rugby. Is that, and it's a bit shit if it's windy as well, or we're going to go for it's sunny? We'll be optimistic. There we go. Rugby, you have yourself a little sunny sunshiny bee. There we go. Good morning, Michaela. How are you, my angel? Good morning, Annie Cameron. I am here I am. It is linen fresh. I love it. It is linen fresh. What is that? Are we giving you a Scorchio for London? I'm going to give you a Scorchio if it's super fresh. I don't have Sandy, it's hot in Spain. Sandy has now moved over to Spain. You lucky thing. We'll be representing our gorgeous Sandy balls over here underneath the compass from here on in. Sunny as in Mansfield. Oh, fabulous. All right, then. You've been built. So this Facebook user, I don't know who you are, but building your business up, been really busy. Good. Congratulations on building your business. You are incredible. It is sunny in Howard in North Wales. Scorchio, love. We've got a lot of sunny bees going on this morning, you guys. Right. Keep telling me in the comments. If I do catch it, I will pop you a bee on. And without further she is that tired. She's slurring her words. Without further ado, I am going to. Before I do, my chest is going to look a little bit different this time tomorrow. So this is the last time, not that I ever get this much of my chest out generally, but this is the last time you'll see my chest looking like this. I have got myself a tattoo booked today. So I don't buy very expensive things. I don't really, when I sort of reward myself or treat myself, I don't really go to town on spending lots. Like I don't really dig on expensive handbags. You know, this is your girl who's been homeless. Like I'm not really asked for stuff. It doesn't really bother me. But what I do love as well, you know, is a little bit of body art. And that is what I've got booked in today. So at 11 o'clock, I am going to get, I'll describe it to you. So there's going to be a heart just here. So a heart with a crown on. And then we're going to have some poppies and daisies and ivy. And we're going to have some swallows and some more flowers up at the top here, taking it up into the shoulder, so that when I get my fabulous gown, so I'm having a gown made for my book cover shoot, which is on the 22nd of September. And it is just off the shoulder and it comes down here. And I thought, well, you know what? Your girl's going to have a big old tattoo to go on the front to look pretty for those pictures. And that is exactly what I'm doing today. So I had to get it booked in sooner rather than later so that when the photo shoot happens, it's all healed. Because nobody wants like a crusty, you don't want crusty boobies on my picture, do you? You don't, no one wants to see that. No amount of airbrushing and Photoshop will fix it. So I've got to get it done now so it's got plenty of time to heal. So I will show you in the morning my new ink. In fact, you know me, I'll post a picture as I'm getting it done and I'll post a picture a bit later on. But yes, I thought I would inform you that if I look a bit different tomorrow, it's because I've got a new tattoo on my titties. But I'm going to pop you, I'm not going to pop you anywhere. You're going to stay there and I want to pop our incredible guest into the stream this morning. She is absolutely phenomenal, and the work that she does with new parents and with parents in general, with mums in particular, is just honestly, it's beautiful, the work that she does. I'm going to let her explain a little bit more about it, but please welcome to the show one of the kindest, most vivacious, most bubbly hearts that I know, the fabulous and the gorgeous Naomie Ella. Good morning.
Hello. How lovely was that? That was really sweet. Thank you.
Like it? I made it up just for you.
Oh, stop.
Stop it. You've got me kind of giddy and wired and tired this morning. It's been a roller coaster emotions this week for everybody involved.
Honestly, same boat this week. I've literally been cross-eyed. I've been having more Netflix naps than I've ever had in my entire life before this week.
So Netflix naps are a thing, aren't they? And is it where you take yourself for a nap, watch Netflix and fall asleep?
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Love it. I love it. You just get cozy, and I've got a little iPad, so it's like all like dinky and cozy and cute, and you just get a little iPad into bed with a chocolate biscuit, and you just snuggle on down, and then you just put something on that you've seen like a billion times, like a ridiculous episode of Friends or
Yes.
Grace and Frankie or something that you just watch on repeat.
So
and then
you don't have to think about.
No thinking. And I think because we just think so much all the time, that's why I need it. I need that trash to just go.
Just allow. It's almost. It's like meditation, almost, isn't it? Just
Really
kind of brain emptying, completely, like fluffy, superfluous stuff. I love it. A Netflix nap. Let us know in the comments if you have Netflix naps too. Sometimes I will go up for a nap, pop something on Netflix, and then don't nap because then I've got hooked into something. That's kind of naughty. That has happened. The latest episodes of Greenleaf have just come out, and I'm a little bit addicted. I'm a sucker for the gospel church, and it's just amazing.
Is it the music?
It's the music, it's the vibe. Like I would go to church every single weekend if my church was like that. I'd be there for it.
Yeah, I would. I think it's amazing. It's so powerful, isn't it? I always think I'd love to go somewhere like, oh God, I want to say Tennessee. Is that right? I don't know.
You can in the South, absolutely. Yeah.
Somewhere amazing like that and just like really get immersed in it because the
really
volume, the sound and the rhythm, you just completely lose yourself, wouldn't you?
Honestly, there was a church near here. So I wouldn't describe myself as sort of overtly religious in inverted commas. We didn't know we were going here this morning, but we've just gone as like overtly religious. I know you're open for it all.
All of it.
And we would go to start to go to church regularly as an adult to help get my daughters into a really nice school. Right. And they're a lovely church and they're fabulous. And I wouldn't describe myself as overly like religious. I'm definitely more spiritual. I'm definitely more kind of less construct and more feeling and energy sort of stuff. But there is a church around here that is like old. No, it's not old school. It's like one of those like. I would say happy clappy churches, but you know what I mean. A proper happy clappy church. Like they've got their arms in the air and they're praying and they're loving. And you go and you can't help but get swept up in the emotion and the reflection of it. And it's like God karaoke as well for a band. I'm like there and I'm rocking out of a Sunday, living my best life. Honestly, it's extra. Anyway, so Greenleaf is brilliant. If anyone is catching it or hasn't caught it yet, there's about 3 or 4 seasons since its eggs. Highly recommend. Anyway, enough about that. Naomie.
Hiya.
I told you I was tired.
Oh gosh, honestly, no, it's fine. I think we're all on a bit of a wibbly one. Do you know what? Because someone mentioned the other day, and I think it might have been Natasha Bray on one of her threads on Facebook, and I chopped into that because there's something happening right now with the moon. Now we started following the moon, so this conversation is going to go in all directions. Just one.
I am here for this.
So we've been following the moon cycles in terms of business. So my husband bought he's really in tune. He's super grounded. He's opposite to me in that way, which is thank God, because I'm really, as you know,
you're like a kite.
I'm just like, whoa. He's like behind the kite flying around like with sparkles coming out of his bum, you know, and he's the one that's just like, okay, we need to go really steady now. We need to just be a bit grounded. So he's like the gardener, you know, and he's like reads Lunar Living, this great book written by this amazing woman who I can't remember the name of right now, but I will post it on your page because it is so good. And you know, he's just been like, go with the rhythm of the moon, basically. And this last week, it's just started to come through to a new moon in the last couple of days.
It was a new moon yesterday, so of course I didn't sleep.
Yeah, no, it started to come at 4 a.m. yesterday. I think it started as a new moon. So the few days before that, there were so many people harping up on Facebook going, oh my God, I feel so weird. What's going on? I feel really knackered. I feel really exhausted. I can't
Same. I thought it was just me because I was being a dick and trying to write a book in a week.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you have got quite a lot on at the moment. Is that? I mean, it's
I don't think that can help.
Croissants, is it? You know what I mean?
If I'm meant to be being gentle with myself at this particular point of the lunar cycle, and there's me trying to write like 50,000 words, that might not be conducive to my best energetic self.
Maybe not so much. Yeah.
So what have you found with this thing? So I was curious last night. It was interesting last night because I'm like, I can't sleep. Why can't I sleep? Normally I can sleep like a teenage boy. And I thought, I wonder what the moon's doing. Googled it. New moon. I get it now. Yeah. How have you found it now? You've been following it.
I've been following it quite loosely, but my husband's been way more on it. So he's helping me to kind of plan in terms of business as well, because we work together on my business now. He's basically all my tech. He's amazing. He's my business manager. He does all my tech. He's built my entire platform. He's built my website. He rebuilt everything. He does all my email marketing, everything. He's so good. So he's been really following the cycles. And then what he does is when you go into that sort of, I want to say waning, I might get that wrong. But you go, it's basically the down period. And what's really good about when you follow the moon cycle is that when you're in that down period, you can psychologically say to yourself, it's okay that I'm not running around like a crazy person. It's okay that I've not got loads of ideas, because I'm not supposed to have loads of ideas right now. I'm supposed to be going inward and reflecting and just calm. And then when it comes into the manifestation phase, that's when you can start working towards, building up your creativity and building stuff around that, which is great. And then it comes into the new moon, so you start to get a bit more energy. But I think for me, because we've been following it, when I see what's going on with the moon, it makes much more sense, and it allows me as a human person to give myself a bit of compassion. And know that this isn't like my brain hasn't gone to pot forever, it's just gone to pot for a couple of days.
It's funny, and it's will lead us quite nicely onto the things that on the work that you do, that we are, as we get a little bit older, and as we sort of move through, as we get older as a species, we are starting to become more intuitive in terms of what, like following our intuition and listening to ourselves again, and listening to things like the moon cycles. However wishy-washy or woo it sounds, the moon has a direct effect on the sea. So come on, you can't say that it doesn't have a direct effect on everything else. So as we kind of get more in tune with the energies that are around us and the energies within ourselves, it's very interesting to see, like you say, the slack that we can cut ourselves by understanding things better, the pressure that we can take off ourselves. Like through the whole of capitalism, we've just got the accelerator being pushed, and that's not what we're designed for.
No. So especially women as well, we're cyclical, so we really need to have that time every month, and often we kind of move in with the moon cycles, but sometimes we don't. And we, that period of time. So for instance, when I used to work as an OT years ago, and I get really bad periods, and I get really like foggy headed, and I get really like, I can't even string a sentence together. And I went into work, and I missed something, and it was something really, really important. And we had to have a chat about it. And I just admitted, I said, look, I can't cope for like 3 days of the month. I completely gone to pot. And she was like, don't come into work then. Just take time out. But imagine if our society was like that. If they said, do you struggle in your monthly cycle? If you said, because loads of people out there have like PMDD and all kinds of stuff going on. But do you struggle? If so, let's work with that. Because when we're being pushed against our natural rhythm, we're not able to fulfill the activities and tasks that we've set ourselves. And then, of course, we feel bad. And then, of course, we look bad and all this kind of stuff. And then we have the guilt and the all that kind of stuff that goes along with it. But if we actually take a step back and tune in and really kind of respect our bodies and our energy and start to move forward, that's when flow and ease happens. That's when more opportunities happen. But it's really interesting you said about this sort of collective energy, because there's a real spiritual awakening, I feel, that's going on
I feel it.
In our society. And it's been going on for a little while. And there's even like, there was a report done a little while ago about ages 17 to 24. And it was something really phenomenal. Like, excuse me, 70% of that age range weren't drinking. There was no like binge drinking, anymore in terms of that sort of age range. And there was like a 70% increase in
like
social
fitness
awareness
and health and well-being.
Totally, which is really, really amazing. And I mean, I have seen some of my friends' kids who kind of fit into that age bracket, and they're just absolute powerhouses. They're going off, they're like making these amazing movements in time. There seems to be this like hubble and bubble, and there's so much going on in politics that I don't know, I think something huge is going to shift in the next few years, and like spiritual awakening from everybody's just going to blast through.
I just think we're given more. The more that we are given the language, it's funny because, again, I'm writing about this, I've written about this now. It's hard. God, that was like giving birth. I was writing about generational scars and the fact that particularly for my grandparents and my parents and before, but I didn't know them, they didn't have the language that we do now to either assert themselves, to express how they feel. So from that point of view, we're given more language now more than ever in order to communicate what our requirements are, what our needs are. And as such, we can have them met much more easily. And that only started in our generation now. So if our kids can be given that language, and if that just becomes the mainstream for them, then good.
Yeah, good. Yeah. It'll be a big change, won't it? It'll be a change that's needed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Naomi, tell us what it is that you do.
What it is that I do, or where to start. Well, so basically I help to support mums to really kind of reconnect with who they are now in motherhood. And there's a reason why I do what I do. I haven't just kind of handpicked it. I haven't gone and learned what I do from a degree, although my degree did come into it, but it isn't specific to that, something like that. So I really help busy mums, really busy, stressed out, overwhelmed, postnatal depression, that kind of
all of us. We are that mum.
All of us, yeah. We've all hit these different phases, different times, and some of us, ride on emotion of it coming in and out. So really tune in with who we are so that we can feel really strong as an independent woman and as mother, and learn self-care techniques that are going to really kind of help improve our everyday living, but also stepping into and showing up as this new mother character that we are, not being afraid of learning about who she is, because as you know, because I ramble on about it all the time, something that isn't known about as a society generally, and I do come across people who do know about this, but most of us don't, and I didn't until I came across it.
I didn't until you explained it to me. And then when you did this concept, it was like my mind was blown. I was like, God, of course.
Exactly. And that's why so Alexandra Sachs did an amazing TED talk about this, what I'm about to talk about. And she's been on Oprah, she's been on all these things. She's like a really awesome psychiatrist, reproductive psychiatrist from New York. She's really fantastic. So basically what happens to us as women is from around the age of conception right through to a couple of years post-birth, we are transitioning through this huge transitional phase called matrescence, which is likened to adolescence in that when we're adolescents, so we're morphing from these children to these human adults. And I say humans because are children really human? I don't know. It's questionable sometimes.
Mine are feral.
Quite feral. So yeah, as we morph through, and what happens to our bodies and our brains develop, our skins.
Wait a second. We're talking about a woman when she is pregnant.
Yeah, so what I'm likening it to is adolescence. So because we understand as a society what adolescence is, we're kind of prepared for it. So that's why I bring that in, because when we move through that adolescent phase, our brains are developing there, because they're growing, our bodies are morphing, our hormones are shifting, everything is changing for like a few years. And we kind of like support like this as a global society. We support our people who are going from children to adult in that adolescent
we give them
phase.
the understanding. We know what the mood swings are. We know that we know that they're pushing boundaries. We know that they're trying to find themselves. We know that they're going to get acne. We know that they're going to start their periods. We know that they're going to get hair. We know all of these things that are going to happen. That when you are, I mean, it's happening with Poppy now. It's quite traumatic. Oh God, you're not a child anymore.
Yeah. And their values change, and what they're interested in changes. And it's about that kind of finding yourself again. And that's exactly what happens to us as women as we transition through into becoming mums. We go through this phase of, our hormones, as we all know, are absolutely wild whilst we're pregnant, and also afterwards, but even like neurologically. So our brains, they kind of shrink during pregnancy, which is where you get your mum brain from, because there are parts of the brain that are kind of shrinking to make room for all the amazing growth that then happens postnatally and continues to do so. But that continues to happen for like a couple of years after the birth of our child. So what happens is our brains then develop even more. We have like the midbrain area, which is all for the maternal instinct, that really kicks in and that grows and develops, and the cortex thickens, and then we've got prefrontal cortex areas, which they sort of help us to regulate our emotions and things like that. So whilst we're going through these changes, these growths, these developments, we're not taught about this pre-pregnancy. We're not
Nobody
really
tells
taught.
us about that.
No one tells us that actually, you know, if you have these feelings of guilt, of fear, of scarcity, if you have feelings of, you know, pangs of, oh my God, what have I done with my life, and who am I anymore?
Yeah.
Instead of nose diving, which is what I did, straight into that. And we did, didn't we? Because we had a huge chat for my podcast about that, and we had really similar experiences. And do you know what the thing is? Thousands of women are going to be feeling exactly like this as well. And so we kind of nosedive into motherhood, not really being prepared for what we're about to experience emotionally.
Yeah.
And therefore we think that we're crazy, and we think that what's going on, and we're really finding ourselves. And that period of time is called matrescence. And that's why I'm kind of an advocate for it at the moment, is because I believe that the more we talk about this, the more we can help to support our mums now to understand what it is and go, oh my God, that's what happened to me. Right. Okay. Get it now.
So there's no lack of understanding, so that when you do have the baby and you kind of, and the emotion and the hormones shift again, and you feel in a different way again, that if we are aware of this and we can support our new mums with this, then we can catch more of them, just instead of them jumping off the precipice into postnatal depression, because postnatal depression is rife. It's common.
It's huge.
This depression that happens, and this is not just the baby blues. This is not just like a few days after where you're emotional and like you would be, say, some people get this in the lead up to a period, or in the you know, in the days as you're on your period, or just after, or whenever it might hit it for you. But afterwards, do you know any stats around postnatal depression and what that looks like, Naomi? Or is it?
I really should, but no, I don't.
Don't worry. No, I'm not. I just there are too many people that I know. Too many.
Well in its 50s, I think, at least.
Yeah.
But that's only people who have been told
diagnosed.
Yeah, and there's loads of people like myself, and I don't know if you were diagnosed. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was. I was not a well person. I just, because when I had Poppy, not very long after that, her dad left. So I'd already struggled with my mental health anyway. I was already struggling with sort of self-value, self-worth, and all of these things. And then when he left, I realized I was going to be on my own. I was situationally depressed as well. I was like, my whole world was thrown into turmoil, and I had this baby, and I didn't know how to be a mum. And I was kind of, my instincts were pulling me in one direction, and my mum was pulling me in a different direction. You should be doing this. You shouldn't be doing this. Don't pick the baby up. Don't breastfeed the baby. You don't need to breastfeed the baby. It's, you know, all of that. You can give it up now. It's fine. You've given it a go. It's not worked out. And it did. We were fine for months. But it's being like torn. I was just I just remember feeling very torn at that time. And I never really felt very maternal. And I do. I love my kids to bits fiercely. Like I could bite them. Feel that fierce about them. But I didn't feel very maternal, and I didn't know what maternal felt like until I got there. And then I had to wear the shoes in, because I didn't all of a sudden wake up in the morning and go, oh, there's this baby, and I'm now a mum. And
yeah. And that's exactly it. It's like this. You know, we go into it so often. So many of us go into it going, oh my God, I can't wait. It's gonna be like, I always wanted kids, so I was just so excited. Everyone who knows me, I'm obsessed with children, and well, I'm not so obsessed with babies anymore now that I've had one. To be fair, they're really hard work.
Teenagers are worse work, babes. You've got it all to go.
I'm gonna get some anti-aging potion for him and just keep
do the thing. Keep him a bubba.
Keep him small and cute. So obsessed with weddings and babies. But so we have these expectations, don't we, of what it's going to look like. How am I going to feel? You expect this, like everyone goes on about, oh, when you give birth, you know, you have all these love hormones, and they'll pump through your body, and suddenly you'll just be so in love with your child, and you'll know exactly what to do. You're going to be an amazing mum. Don't worry about it. And then, of course, that doesn't happen. And you're going, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. And then we start to freak out. But the thing is, of course we don't know what we're doing. How on earth are we supposed to know what we're doing? Have you ever done that before? Have you ever birthed a child before? Even if you have, you haven't done it in the same way the second time. And when we first become mums, every single day is a new challenge. Like, have we ever experienced sleep deprivation like that before? Definitely not. Like, you know, have you ever experienced not showering for like 3 weeks in a row? Probably not. Maybe some of us have, but probably not.
No.
We change, like our friendship circles change, and people see us differently, and people respond to us differently. And that's the thing, is it's because I'm an OT, so I work really holistically anyway. But everything in motherhood is so holistic. So when we're having these children, we've then got to deal with not only just the raging hormones that are going on in our bodies and the brain developments that we're going through, but the expectations that we are exceeding or probably not exceeding, and then obviously dealing with that sort of mental. Are so vulnerable at that stage, like so vulnerable. And then there's the relationship. And of course, we're not, you know, as sexually active as we were for some time, because we're sore, because we're releasing oxytocin. If you're breastfeeding, you're releasing that oxytocin, even when you're not, when you're releasing that oxytocin, when you're bonding with your child. So your chemical brain isn't going, oh, well,
I'm another baby.
Have a bit of that. You know, you
don't want people do. Crazy rules.
I don't know how people do it. I'm like, huh? That's it. I haven't done that.
I still haven't. I'm probably 12. No joking. I've had two other kids since. I've had sex twice since then.
Honestly, that was more embarrassing. I was like, how old's my child? 4. Oh, that's embarrassing. Anyway, but yeah, we're not chemically like driven to want that. So there's that kind of stuff going on, and of course, then there's that role of partner. You know, your and role for me, a really big one was money earner. I wasn't working, and I've always been the breadwinner. I've always had the credit cards, I've always had the cars, I've always done the houses, everything. And I've worked hard and I've played hard, and we'll go on to that in a minute. As you well know, it was a bit of a stuff.
I do know, yeah, absolutely.
So to have that taken away from me as well was massive, and I think this will be such a role identification crisis almost. So, you know, you're no longer the worker, you're no longer the doting partner, you're no longer the fantastical housewife. Or, you know, I was like, oh, I'll be like, I'll wear a pinny and I'll hoover when the baby sleeps, and I'll
make baby wear, and we'll bake some bread, and we'll
honestly, I thought I was going to step into a 1950s housewife role.
I didn't get dressed. I didn't even put a top on for the first 2 weeks because my boobs was no, so I couldn't have any fabric on my boobs and walking around the house with no top on because I just couldn't.
Amazing. You're just like, the other thing is, they all want a piece of you, and like the babies are grabbing at you and the husbands are grabbing at you.
You get really like out touched, like you kind of get touched out. I remember feeling like, just please don't anybody touch me. I don't want to be touched anymore. Hello.
Hi.
The last of the products of my womb here.
Oh, beautiful lady.
These are way too big.
Well, don't wear them then. Go downstairs, go and get dressed. Just come in to say good morning.
Oh, she's a sweetheart.
She knows.
She does know. She's coming in. Oh, she's talking about me. Yes, I'm here, everyone. No more waiting.
So go on, sorry.
Yeah, so we have all these things going on, and then so as we're sort of morphing into these mum creatures, these new people, we don't know who she is yet, and there's a big process of, and I work with people on this as well, of letting go of who we were, welcoming in the new, but also sort of paying homage to the both, and bringing them both together, because we don't have to completely change who we were before, but it's about bringing elements of our character through, but in a way that's going to suit our lifestyle as it is now, you know, and letting go of that. But that was so monumental for me because, it was such a big life change.
You were, I mean, you did want children. I mean, I did too. I really did. In fact, there was it was, for me, it was like a cookie cutter situation. I'd finally put down some roots, and everyone said, "Oh, get a house." And I had this husband-shaped hole that my partner at the time filled, and of course, it was natural then to have a baby, and you know, everything was kind of planned. But there was this whole aspect of my life that I was never going to get back. I used to travel the world, and you were the same. When you used to travel all over the place in festivals and all of that sort of stuff, and I just thought that person was lost.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's when you go through that grieving process, which again is completely normal. But when we're hit with it, we're like, oh my God, why don't I remember feeling for weeks and weeks and weeks. And this was an extreme case, I guess, but I just felt so sick into my stomach, was churning with regret. I couldn't believe what had happened to my life. I couldn't believe that this thing that I'd wanted, this baby, I've wanted this baby all my life, and now he was here. I wasn't feeling the love. I wasn't feeling connected. I was 3 stone overweight. I felt horrific. I wasn't sleeping. There was no way that I was getting into any kind of, burlesque or spandex gear that I was so used to wearing.
The spandex.
Shiny leggings and little.
I didn't get into the spandex, and I was already like 5 years out of spandex by then.
Oh God, yeah, it's a crazy world, but
So you help people. So you help people come to terms with this matrescence. It's almost like you said, we support our children to become adults through our parenting, because we know that is a life change.
Yeah.
You help through because you're an occupational therapist, through your knowledge of occupational therapy, through your knowledge of matrescence, provide support for people that, might not be entering into parenthood quite ready, or will have entered into it and they realize that it's not what I thought it was.
yeah definitely. So I mean, how that was really born was, so my work as an OT was nothing to do with children. It was nothing to do with mums. It was actually mostly to do with older adults, which I absolutely love. So I'd go out into the community and I'd spend some time with these gorgeous little old women, and you're supposed to be there on a strict, like, you're not allowed to stay any more than 45 minutes, and I was always there for like an hour and a half anyway, because I thought, these poor loves, they need me. And actually I didn't fit into that whole box of like ticking off a form in this way, staying for only a certain amount of time, and it didn't quite fit well with me. I was always giving way more and wanting to do more. Help, but how I help mums now is really to move through transition of matrescence in a really stable and sustainable way, so that they can continue to be the mums that they want to be, so that they
don't have to have that whole falling off, the dropping off the cliff feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. But even if you have, there is a way back up. And the amount of mums that I speak to who come to me and say, oh my God, I've been feeling angry about something, or oh my God, I've been feeling like I don't enjoy playing with my kid, and all these kind of things, is that actually these experiences that we're having on our individual basis is very normal, and we're all experiencing them. But because there's this taboo around being honest around motherhood, and there's always perfect visions of what motherhood
where are the squirrels and the birdies singing? Where are they?
Exactly.
If I do that, where's the robin coming to sing at me? Like, that doesn't happen. If I do that, one of my kids does that.
Exactly. So I mean, that's kind of what I'm on a real sort of mission to do as well, is just to open up that platform to be able to speak honestly and openly about motherhood without shame, without guilt, and just own it, and own these people that we are. But how that all kind of came about was because of my own breakdown. So like lots and lots of mums, I had a physical, emotional, spiritual breakdown. So interesting, what we talked about at the beginning of the show was all about kind of tuning into that, religion, intuition, spirituality, and things like that. So I've always been into that because my parents were raging hippies. So they've brought me up on tuning into the universe, reading tarot cards. My entire life has been based on runes.
When you say hippies, you mean that is exactly what you mean, isn't it?
Absolutely.
A very spiritual upbringing in that way.
Really liberal. I got taken to loads of festivals. So my this will give you a bit of an insight. So my yearly holiday with my dad was going to Glastonbury for a week, and that was what that was what he did every year. He's great. He's amazing. I love my dad. He's fantastic. So he would take me to Glastonbury every year, and we'd have this a week away together. He'd take me to see loads of cool concerts and all that kind of stuff. And my mum and dad split up when I was really young, but that's by the by. But yes, so she was more stay at home by that point. But every life decision that we had, we'd get the runes out, we'd get the tarot cards out, we'd get the I can't remember
pendulum.
What it's called. Pendulum, thank you.
Yeah.
And we'd she'd do loads of Reiki on me, and we'd do loads of visualizations. And the way that she used to send me to sleep as a kid was to massage my feet, but do a guided visualization with me, which is just the cutest thing in the world. Okay. So bearing that in mind, you won't be surprised about what happens. So after my after my breakdown in motherhood, really about 10 months in. So
Yeah.
my previous life, as we just talked about, was like festival performer. I used to do very, very questionable burlesque. I wouldn't even like to say it was burlesque. Sketchy at best. There was that.
Of course, we don't know. There was
It
a
was-
bus home.
Was there? I don't know, because it was, you know,
Tassels, that was it.
a couple of nipple tassels and a sketchy little pair of pants. So yeah, but we'd go and entertain the crowds at festivals. So we did loads and loads of different stuff. We did like some weird like sheep burlesque type act at Boomtown. We did this huge like bunnies. We dressed up as crazy bunnies that we'd do, and we'd just go and dance in crowds and, you know, just give a bit of entertainment really. And we did loads of other kind of stuff and dancing on stages and all that kind of thing. So it was a really fun fueled life. So then when I hit motherhood, and obviously I wasn't doing any of that, which is a good thing because it was just a bit crazy and I was absolutely exhausted and I did feel like something was missing and I was like, this is great, but what's my life doing? I don't really want to keep doing this anymore.
Am I in silver hot pants forever? Is this me? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I had a really good time, but it was exhausting and I kind of felt like I was almost pretending. I don't know. I felt like I was like acting, and that was really good fun. So in the week, I would work so hard as an occupational therapist. I'd earn good money. I climbed up the OT ladder really quickly. I care deeply about people and the universe and helping and supporting and I'll do anything for anybody, and you know that.
Yeah.
So this kind of split personality thing was going on. So then I had a kid, and then I had 10 months in, I had this huge breakdown. Mm-hmm. Which was the very beginning of the breakthrough, which is where my business kind of came from in the first place. So this breakdown happened at this like ultimate wedding, like fantastic, like, you know, I'm obsessed with weddings and babies and all that kind of stuff. So like huge wedding, amazing thing, about 300, 500 people there, everyone looking super glam, the most amazing bands. There was a pool, there was amazing cocktail bars, a huge stage, there was like phenomenal food, like everybody I knew was there, and everyone's frolicking and dancing and playing and doing their thing. And I couldn't join in any of that because my kid was 10 months old. Yeah. And as you know, with a 10-month-old baby, they're crawling around everywhere. You can't finish off a sentence. You can't properly eat food. You're intermittent with your breastfeeding if that's what you're still doing. It's just, you're completely in this zone. And I was trying desperately to get him to sleep. And this is the moment when it all went for me. Desperately trying to get him to sleep in this, imagine, like amazing courtyard, like Italian style rumble down courtyard with white fairy lights and ivy just like draped everywhere with the odd little shiny disco ball. It was like so classy, but also a little bit glitzy.
Yeah.
And there was people dancing over here, and there was people like walking around and just like clinking champagne glasses. And then upstairs in the courtyard was where the bride and all the bridesmaids were. So I've always been the entertainer, I've always been the hostess, I've always been the organizer, and there was me completely on my own. Husband's broken his foot and he's best man, so he's completely useless, totally useless by that point. And champagne corks are just flying and they're popping everywhere, and I just realized that wasn't me. Like, that wasn't my life anymore. Everything just went bam, 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 bam in my head. I'm not that person. I'm not that girl. I'm trying so desperately to get involved. I'm trying so desperately to organize. I'm trying so desperately to be there and entertain because that's what I'm so used to. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that was not me. I was a mum. I had to step into that role. I had to come to terms with that. And at that point, everything just kind of crushed on me. Yeah. And I handed the baby over to my husband and I ran to the van in tears because I was just this realization of what my life had become. It just kind of hit me. And thinking about it, I feel a lot of feelings around that, but I've come to terms with those feelings and that. So
it's hard not to feel guilty, isn't it? You feel them feelings, and in the next instance, you're banging yourself with a stick because you're like, I shouldn't feel like that. I shouldn't resent where I'm at. I shouldn't be grieving for what I was before. I shouldn't be, you know, and it might sound to some of you like a first world problem, but it's not. It's a life change. However you look at it, it's a life change. And that we've got to, you know, accommodate for that and allow that for ourselves.
Yeah, and absolutely meet it with that absolute compassion and just understanding. And that's the thing, because we don't have, and that's a statement that I always like to say, is that awareness is knowledge. It's the key that we need to open up the door to positive change.
Right.
So once we've got that awareness, boom, we've got that knowledge. Once we've got that knowledge, we know what we can do to change that scenario positively. We can start making those steps forward. But yeah, you're right. You're in that sort of like, it's like in a bit of you're in that sort of limbo stage at that point. Yeah, it's really weird. It's so weird. Totally. No, it really felt like that. You were just like, who am I? What? I'm not that person. Am I this? Who is this person? And I think for some of us who feel similarly to what I did and what you did, we can't even see what that woman's like. We don't know her yet. We've not met her.
Who's this new person now? Who's she going to be? What does she look? What does she even look like?
She doesn't look like this. Yeah. What's she wear? What's she wearing? How's her hair? What's she doing with her days? And so there I was, absolutely crashed. And then it took me a few weeks to kind of come out of that space. But then this is what happened. And this is the beginning of the rest of my life. And I thank my little boy for coming along and teaching me how to be me, because I wouldn't be me without him. And that was what was missing. There was a missing link for all my life since I was about 17. And I was like, oh my God, I want to have a baby. Yeah. Oh my God, I want to do this amazing stuff. Oh my God, I want to be this person. I want to go traveling, whatever. There's always something missing, and I feel like I've landed, but it's because of him. It's because of that breakdown. And I sat on my mum's couch, and I remember it's so clear as day. And it's just, this is relatable to what we were talking about at the beginning of the show as well. I sat there and I just held out my hands, and I just relinquished everything, and I just said, "Universe, just show me a sign. Tell me what to do. I can't do this anymore. I surrender everything to you. Whoever you are, whatever's going on, just take this pressure away from me, and I will do what you show me. Show me a sign."
Yeah.
And as soon as I'd done that, oh my God, I felt like, I can breathe.
Yeah, when you give it up, you can let it go, because the thing is, the pressure that we put on ourselves is the weight. And we get to choose to, you can give it up to God, or you can give it up to the universe, or you can just give it the fuck up. Like, you can put it where you want it. But however, whatever you want to give, whatever vehicle you want to give it, when you do give it up, when you do just say, do you know what? I'm just going to allow myself to be myself in this situation right now. When you just and you do, your hands kind of go up like that. Like, you can give it to whatever deity you want to. Yeah. But when you do, when you give it over, there is a lightness that you feel that allows you to take the deep breath that you didn't realize that you needed. You realize you've been shallow breathing for so long, and that you were dizzy, and then you go, and that feeling is just amazing when you clock it and you give yourself permission to do that. It really does. It really is powerful. So Naomie, so you moved, moved through your breakdown, and you relinquished this pressure from yourself, and you started to build your business as it looks now. What does your business look like now? How exactly do you help? Like, what do you do? So say, for example, I'm a mum, or I'm thinking of getting pregnant, or I'm pregnant. When do I come to you? When do I come and hang out?
Yeah, well, there's loads of ways that people can do that. So probably find me online on Facebook and all the channels under Naomie Ella. And I've got a free group called the Connected Mother Collective. So that's all about just female empowerment, mum empowerment, stepping into your shoes, but also just being held in that nurture. It's a mum group. It's a non-mummy mum group. That's kind of how I explain it. Yeah, because it's nothing to do with the baby. Directly, it's nothing to do with selling baby clothes,
and it's not the mum stapo either. The mum stapo,
oh my God. No, the opposite of that. Like,
the mum mafia.
I'm really proud of everyone who's in there, because there's never been one bad word said. And every time someone goes in there and says, "Oh my God, I've got this problem," they just jumps on with the most incredible amount of support. It's all just like love, support, nurture, but holding each other up, which is, of course, what we need. But now, so I'm now an award-winning maternal wellbeing businesswoman, which is
you are.
So to come from this phenomenal breakdown to an award-winning businesswoman is like absolutely phenomenal. So I basically turned my entire transition of becoming mum through everything that I did, all my nutritional therapy that I did, my yoga that I went back to, the self-discovery, the self-exploration, the occupational therapy, putting in timetables, putting myself first, which was the most important thing that anyone can ever do.
What a revelation.
Oh my God, I could actually do something nice for me. Wow.
I'm allowed. That doesn't make me a bad person, does it? What?
Yeah. I know. I'm allowed to meditate for half an hour. I can do that. Can I do that?
Yes, but you'll have to jump on the toilet whilst having a poo.
Well, do you know what? Whatever you need to do, wherever you can get it in. Does it count if I'm on the toilet? I'm like, it counts. It really counts. It's fine.
Taking the space. It's fine.
Open the window, not the door. It still counts. It's okay. So yeah, through all my sort of experience as an OT and a life coach, but also heavily on my personal transformation transition.
Yeah.
So I've now turned all that into like this gorgeous online oasis, like an online sanctuary.
That's
for
a
mums.
lovely way to put it, because that's exactly what it is.
It's exactly what it is. It's amazing. So it categorizes everything. So I run workshops. They're about half an hour to an hour long, based upon occupational therapy. I bring in science, I bring in neuroscience, I bring in, OT sort of theory, because that's actually what backs up our practice. But then it's packed full of practical support. So it's a little bit educational, it's informative, and it's really practical, because we want to be able to absorb that information and do something with it right there and then. So I run monthly workshops for that. I then have nutritional therapists come in and run their monthly workshops. I have yoga, an in-house yoga teacher. She runs her yoga classes once a month. And then I have guest experts, everything from like learning how to use our amazing Ruth Cudsy's been in, learning how to use our personalities to play to our strengths, looking at confidence building throughout matrescence, which is that period of time that I talked about, looking at how to build boundaries in a really safe way and communicate that with our partners. We've had mindfulness expert Jo Wilson, who's absolutely gorgeous, so I think as well. She's fantastic. Oh God, I love her. I adore that woman. She's just so great. Her talk was awesome, because it was just like, here's a bit of information, here's how you can do it, pow pow pow, like loads of it. You come away and you're like, oh my God, I can do loads of stuff now.
I can do these things. Oh my God. All right, okay.
I do all this, and it's so they've got all of that. Plus, I have like audio. Every month we have a new audio meditation, audio mindfulness, which are sort of similar, but they are still very different as well. And a little cheeky little mindset piece, which is about 2.5 minutes long. They're about 20 minutes. The other audios. So the whole combination is very OT. It's very holistic. So you've got your practical, your learning, your educational, but also your very supportive, nurturing, empowering. Absolutely, all of it. And then the yoga and nutritional therapy, and then the guest experts. And these people are like handpicked from around the world, and they only do those talks in this area. And it's amazing. And actually, how we're kind of building that now is we're starting to morph it into a bit of like a retreat center. So you can like go. It's really exciting. It's so exciting. So we've had all these plans recently of doing and log in, and then you could have, say, example of retreat day number 1 would be, here's an example of a full retreat day from like 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Here's one, say 10 p.m. till 2. Here's one it's like an hour and a half. Here's your power hour. Here's your 15 minutes. Here's your half an hour. And we're gonna like separate them all off, so that if you're really exhausted and you just want to come in and be told what to do in one,
you're like, there, just tell me what to do.
Just tell me what to do. Yeah, because we're all
choose. I've got decisions to change at the best of times.
Absolutely. And I think, as we well know, juggling entrepreneurial life and juggling parental life is absolutely
do you ever get this like actual decision fatigue? And I make so many decisions every single day. I make them with my clients. I make them, with the direction that I'm going. That when it comes to me stepping out of work, I don't want to choose what's for dinner anymore. I don't want to choose what the kids are wearing. I don't want to choose what I'm wearing. Like, I just need I need something to happen.
It's almost like you need someone to just guide you. Do you want to feel relaxed? Come and do this. And that's the other thing, we're going to sort of label them. So we're going to have like, if you want to feel relaxed and refreshed, go to this section. If you want to feel supercharged and energized, go to this section. If you want to feel calm and restored, go to this section. So over the coming months, it's just going to keep on morphing. But it's amazing. And I built this in COVID, and it's gone like, it was amazing. At the beginning of COVID, I was like, oh my God, right, quick, I need to help more women.
We need to do more things.
Just how can I help people? How can I help people more? And I was like, I know, I'll build this retreat center online, which is, it's called the Mama's Wellbeing Hub, and it's all about the mum. And the idea is that as busy mums, as probably most people who are watching this who are mums are busy mums.
I think, I'm a busy mum. I attract busy mums. It happens.
Yeah, well, that's it. And we're all in this kind of, business, entrepreneurial space, so many of us. And the thing is that if we don't, if we don't carve out a little bit, a lot if you can, but a little bit of time just for you, so that you can restore your energy, have that restoration, have that rest, that sleep, that energizing inner work, you know, tuning into spiritual guides or God or whatever it is for you.
Yeah.
Looking at your nutritional health, you know, stretching your body. It doesn't have to be a big deal. But if we
you remember want to do that, so I forgot.
Yeah, I know. We're like, hey, I just do this because we're at our desk like this quite a lot, aren't we?
I'm like this. I've not even got a proper ergonomic. This is like, I don't know, like a big brother chair. I shouldn't even have this in my desk. Anyway,
danger. You need a little blanket. Away. But yeah, you know, and I think, you know, because I speak from experience of burnout and chronic fatigue as well, is that when we don't prioritize ourselves for a little bit, we can't keep going.
Yeah.
We can't keep going in the way that we want to keep going. That juggle is so hard to manage. And then, of course, we endlessly feel the guilt of, oh my God, I'm not spending enough time with my kids. Oh my God, my business isn't going as far as I want it to quite yet. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you're constant in this space. But when we refocus on our own mental health, well-being, physical, spiritual, emotional health for a little bit, we get that clarity, we get that aha moments, we get that creativity, we get that space. We're like, oh yeah, I don't need to feel stressed about that. And oh yeah, of course, why haven't I been doing that for ages?
You wonder why, when you've got blinkers on, that you feel more and more and more stressed, even though you've got, but I can't get away from this, I can't get away from this, I can't stop. I just think when you stop, you think more. You allow yourself to breathe. And again, even this week, a number of times this week, I've had to remind myself that actually there is more to be done in stopping. And there's still hard work to stop.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we don't allow ourselves to stop. So making ourselves stop is actually part of the work that we need to do in order to keep ourselves buoyant and keep ourselves thinking and keep ourselves flowing. And I could just talk to you all day on this. Linda Reynolds just saying, people who do more, do more. I wish we were around 31 years ago. The language is changing around this now. And it's great that, you know, we have people in our circle like Naomie who are pioneers for this. And that you know, as you hang out with us in the sort of the IATQB movement and what have you, get to find out more about this. It's the point of this show, is to introduce these concepts to people and hopefully to help give you more and more language around it so you can seek the help when you need it. So Naomie, do you have to be a mum to be a part of what you do? Or can you be thinking about being a mum so you could prepare yourself for like where are you at?
Yeah, do you know what? There are people in there who aren't mums yet. You know, they want to, but maybe not for a while. So I have one of my dear gorgeous friends who's actually in my group, and she Kerry Layton, who
I love Kerry. She was on the show last Friday.
Yeah, she's amazing, right? So me and Kerry grew up together. In fact we did a lot of performance together. So we've known each other since we were 15. So we're really, really close. And she loves what I'm doing. So she's part of the hub as well. She's getting a lot out of that. And I mean, I get a lot out of her being there as well, which is really lovely because it's like, oh, well, my old friend's there.
Right.
But she hasn't got any children yet. And there's someone else who's joined my group as well she said, I'm not a mum, but I just really love what you're doing and I really believe in what you're doing. Can I come and join in? I was like, of course you can. It's not exclusively for mums, but I've built it in that way because I know there's a need for that. And of course, that's kind of my background. But I mean, I suspect that over the next couple of years, it's going to explode in all kinds of different ways.
I think so. If you think it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village to raise a mum.
Yeah. Oh,
and
100%.
by allowing yourself to be part of that village, like you do have matriarchs. I think about it, like in the olden times, there was matriarchs and crones, and that would assist, that would be there. You know, the whole midwifery thing came from experienced women in the field that help bring children into the world, or having a village and a community to help the creation of mum, or this whole matrescence thing. It's just I just think it's absolutely phenomenal. Naomie, would you do us a huge favor, my angel, and pop the links to all of your shizzle in the comments on the Queen Bee Dani page, in the comments on this live stream? Would you be able to do that?
Of course.
Amazing. And what's coming up next for you? What are you excited about?
Oh, well, I'm doing this big old talk in October. Very exciting.
Naomie is one of our speakers for being inspired on the 15th of October. So me and Naomie have been working together now for, just about 6 months. And she is doing her TED style talk, and the things that she has planned, you know, for the telling of the story is just absolutely phenomenal. And the energy,
let's put it that way.
yeah, the energy that you bring to the cohort is just absolutely amazing. Every single speaker that we have at Be Inspired are super strong, powerhouse women with phenomenal stories, and
they're amazing.
Naomie is one of those people. So there are tickets available. If you do want a ticket to Be Inspired, it's on the 15th of October. We changed the date. Originally it was in September. We moved it due to COVID to make it a little bit safer for everybody. But there are still a couple of tickets left. So if you do want a ticket to Be Inspired, it is the 15th of October. I have to remind myself then, 9:30 till about 5 o'clock, and then we're having some drinks afterwards because we got
definitely a cocktail or 10.
Absolutely. But if you do want a ticket to Be Inspired, just put Be Inspired in the comments and I will pop you the link. Or just go to Eventbrite, type it BBEE Inspired, and you can grab your tickets. Manchester, 15th of October. It's a Thursday. You will not regret it. Naomie's talk is phenomenal, as are the other 9 speakers that are going to be there.
It's going to be incredible. It's going to be so good. Honestly, I get really giddy. Sometimes I'm in the kitchen, I'm going through my talk, and it's going to sound really, I don't know how it sounds. But I was in the kitchen doing my talk, and I started getting goosebumps everywhere, and then I got really giddy, and then I started like literally jumping around the kitchen.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's so excited. We are all so excited to welcome you to join our celebration of inspiration and motivation. Naomie Ella, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
So much.
You are an absolute angel. I know you help so many people, and long may it continue. Please do get involved, you guys, with everything that Naomie's doing. She's just such a wonderful energy to be around. Naomie Ella, have an incredible day, my beautiful Naomie Ella. Everybody, what a show! What a fabulous conversation. And you know that I do like to bring to you different topics. I do like to bring to you different ways of thinking. And I hope this has allowed you to think a little bit differently this morning. Let's stop hitting ourselves with a should stick. Let's stop with the mum guilt, and let's support each other a little bit more. Have an incredible day. If you don't already follow me on the Insta, make sure you do, at the Queen Bee Dani. The waitlist to Be Inspired, the new mastermind, is now open. We will be starting mid-October, directly after Be Inspired. So if anybody wants to get involved with that, please do give me a shout. There's also Be Heard, so you want to be a speaker, coming up at the end of September as well. Right, you guys, have an incredible day. Happy Thursday. I am off to go and get my tattoo. I will show you later on. Have a fabulous one, you guys. I love you. Tra.